Hey, comic lovers, EMoney, the old man, and Thor the Dog of Thunder here. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Good? Yeah. Thor and I had a little bit of fun this weekend because mommy and daddy were out of town, and I had to take care of him and I almost said little brother, but I guess it's his big brother technically.
Older.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Mm-hmm. So it was fun. Yeah. You get a couple extra treats out of it. All right. So I didn't get to take him on his walk this past Thursday because I had a lot of stuff going on this past week. I had work. I picked up an extra trivia show. I think there was a karaoke in there somewhere and a Renaissance fair. I don't know. It was a crazy whirlwind of a week.
This is all pretty much self-inflicted, so you don't get to complain.
I just said we had a lot going on this past week. All right.
Thor, don't take no crap off here.
Never mind. All right. So we have a pretty fun week, pretty fun episode coming up, and we're going to have some comic reviews. We're going to be talking some comic book movie news, including Black Adam and the newest video game adaptation coming up here in just a second. All right, and then we're going to have a preview of this weekend's pop-up comic shop, and then I have a little bit of a challenge for Thor, just I guess more of a see how he reacts sort of thing.
Well, it's too hot to have a real serious challenge.
Yeah, we're a little on the hot side, aren't we today, buddy? Yeah? All right, everybody.
Hey. You're messing stuff up. Thor!
I'm almost done.
Get back in here.
I'm almost done. Come on. All right.
Thor. Thor. Get in here. Turn around. Sit.
This is Cosmic. Also, this is Back Issues. All right, comic lovers. So before we get started today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on your notifications, give us a thumbs up, and if you like, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of this news or these comic book reviews or whatever the hell you want to talk about. All right, so first up, we have some news about the upcoming Black Adam film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All right, so apparently, when Dwayne Johnson tells you that he wants to do a solo DCEU movie, everybody listens. According to a new interview, the former wrestler only had to make one phone call to make sure that Black Adam didn't make his debut in 2019's Shazam, but went straight to being a major player in his own right. Fans of DC Comics already know that Shazam and Black Adam gained their powers from the same source, and it is therefore not surprising that the pair almost made their debut in the same movie. It seems as though they were trying to introduce both characters at the same time and give both of them the attention they deserved in a single story, and that was proving to be an issue. In an interview with comicbook.com, Johnson said, "The original plan, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I think, was to tell the origin stories of Shazam and Black Adam in the same movie." Excuse me. That's what we worked on. The script was delivered, we all read the script, and I immediately felt like we have to separate these two movies.
All right.
We have to honor Shazam and that origin story and what it is, and what that can be for the fans, and then we also have to tell our story too as well. So producer Bo Flynn, who received the call from Johnson, added there are some things that you just don't argue with. He said, "I got a phone call very early in the morning from Dwayne Johnson, which is always pretty intimidating. He called Hiram and I, and he just said, 'Brothers, we're gonna make Black Adam. We're gonna tell this story. It's so big and so important,' and that was that."
Alrighty then.
Well, while he already has plenty of movie franchises under his belt, Dwayne Johnson has made no secret that he is 100% committed to both the upcoming movie, any sequels that may follow, and even the wider DC universe.
Alrighty then.
All right,
Somebody needs to have a little talk with Dwayne and go MCU.
if you do you wanted to play Namor? Is that? I mean, what were you thinking he would play?
That would be pretty good. Although I don't know, I like seeing Wyatt Wingfoot.
Wyatt Wingfoot.
Yeah, a friend of the FF.
Okay. So, I mean, I assume he has the options. I mean, he's in pretty big demand right now.
Sure, he can probably play any part he wants to.
Yeah, probably one of the biggest box office draws going on right now. All right, and so Black Adam is scheduled to come out later this October. All right, so moving on to our next story. Apparently, it is a wrap on The Last of Us. That is,
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It is in the works at HBO. The Last of Us is a live-action adaptation of the video game of the same name with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey in the lead roles.
Hey, did they ask you if you wanted to be in The Last of Us? You could have been. Except you don't behave. Huh.
I mean, I know that there was a significant German Shepherd role in the sequel, so...
Maybe you could have done a post-credit scene. Wait, Hank, you down? As long as there's snacks, he's down.
All right, so Craig Mazin, who's writing and producing the series alongside Neil Druckmann, revealed on Saturday that filming has been officially completed on the show's freshman season with an announcement post on Twitter. The Last of Us, if you don't know, is set in a post-apocalyptic world that has been ravaged by a contagion capable of mutating humans into bloodthirsty savages. Pascal stars as Joel, a hardened survivor hired to smuggle a teenage girl, Ellie, across the United States while avoiding deadly mutants and marauders. Pedro Pascal has teased that the series will be pretty faithful to its source material.
Yay!
In an interview with comicbook.com, he says, "It's covered in clickers and spores and the elements of Alberta, and we're having an amazing time. It's totally harrowing. I don't know if we'll make it, but it'll be completely worth it. It is amazing, and I'm having an amazing time." Craig Mazin has also previously explained how the goal with the series is to entertain The Last of Us fans in a way that's different compared to the original video game. While the series takes heavy inspiration from the games, Mazin's comments also suggest that viewers will be able to appreciate the story in a very different way when they're able to relax and take it in, as opposed to controlling the action every step of the way. It's not to keep you in love with The Last of Us, it's to make you fall in love again with The Last of Us in a different way. It's a passive way in the sense that you're taking it in, you're not playing it. But you're experiencing more with more characters in more ways. And I think we've got something good going.
I just want somebody to do more post-apocalyptic stuff because that's my stuff.
I mean, I know you didn't play it, but I think you've seen enough of the game.
I watched him play for hours.
Yeah, so you have a pretty idea what's going on. And I mean, the game itself is just like really cinematic in a lot of ways.
That's why I watched it for so much.
All right, so The Last of Us does not have a premiere date just yet, but I can pretty safely say we're pretty excited about it. And Pedro Pascal in the lead role. I mean, that's got some star power to it.
We're gonna do reaction videos to it.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes.
But it's not a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, it'll be our. If we don't do one between now and then, it will be our first non-Disney Plus show to do a reaction video to.
What we're going to do if it drops on Wednesday, and Disney Plus has already got 2 shows on Wednesday, which they're doing right now, which drives me insane.
Do a show late, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, that is going to do it for comic book news today. Now let's head inside and talk comic books.
Where the air conditioning is.
Yeah. You wait out here.
Ha!
All right, so if you've never seen us do this before, we grade these comics on a 5 shield rating system.
If you've never seen us do this before, shame on you. Start looking at the older one. But go ahead.
All right, we grade each of them with 2 scores, one for writing and story, and then the other one for artwork. Then we combine the 4 scores together to give it an average overall score. All right, so first up, we have our mentions this week.
All right, first one. I get kind of tickled when I realize that the guy who's drawing this Amazing Spider-Man book. His dad drew it years ago. In fact, wasn't he the artist that took over after Dicko?
He was the second guy to draw for Spider-Man.
All right, so this week we're going to mention Amazing Spider-Man number 3.
All right, so in this issue, Tombstone has captured Spider-Man because he's been interfering with his operations a little too much for his liking.
You can't be getting into the man's money.
So in this issue, well, I mean, Tombstone, he does what so many villains do. He starts monologuing. And he also, we get a little bit about Tombstone's origins and how he came about. So, Spider-Man, he's captured, he's bloody, he's beat up, he's chained up. And then Tombstone asks him, why he's been interfering with his operations, like it had nothing to do with you. And Spider-Man, beat up and bloody, laughs at him, and he's like, you guys always make it more complicated than it needs to be. I'm a good guy who's trying to stop the bad guys. It's just as simple as that.
Well, villains don't always realize that they're villains.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of scoff at that concept. And, they say, like, I'm, just a guy who chooses not to conform to society's rules. Or I'm just a businessman who's trying to make it in this world or something like that. Yeah. So they just can't accept that logic. So, solid artwork for Romita Jr. here. And I'm, excited, anxious, whatever, to see what happens next. Amazing Spider-Man number 3 ends up with
3.5 shields.
3.5 shields out of 5. All right, next up, we have a story that we've been following at just about every issue, I think.
We're doing the crossover thing with this one. We're picking up the issues of the Hulk, which we had actually stopped getting because I for one, hated the storyline. And Thor, the book that we always get, and picking up the, the Hulk versus the Banner of War. Banner of War. And this is Thor number 26.
All right, so in the last issue, there was a gamma explosion, partially brought on by Tony, because, Tony, he just can't stay out of stuff. So, and then we get a gamma explosion, which gave Thor Hulk powers. So you have Thor, in addition to being, a god of thunder, he now has the power of the Hulk.
So, in other words, Thor smash.
So, Thor with Hulk powers versus regular Hulk, not much of a matchup. So, Hulk, he needs Hulk and Banner both. They need to get some extra help here. So, don't want to spoil it for you, but it's makes for a pretty good slobber knocker here. So, and, artwork, also solid stuff. And so Thor number 26, and it's Banner of War part 4 out of 5. So we're nearing the conclusion here.
Thank goodness.
Ends up with
also 3.5 shields.
3.5 shields out of 5. All right, so there is our mentions for the week. Now on to our top 3.
All right. So it seems like we always manage to get a Batman book in there, so we did. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. There was a tie.
Ah, okay.
Well, y'all knew there was going to be a tie. Well, we are struggling to come up with competitions to figure out who's going to decide where the books fall. So if you all have any suggestions on what kind of competition we can have, what kind of game we can play, whatever, shoot us a comment. But this time we went back in the vault and we pulled out Clue, the board game. Now, unfortunately, EMoney was a little bit involved with chasing, what's her name, Mrs. Peacock with his Professor Plum and got sidetracked. My Colonel Mustard won the game. Ta-da! So at any rate, that means I got to pick the ties. There was a tie for first and second place. If you don't like the order that those two books fall in, tough. It's our channel, so.
All right, so what's our...
So number 3 was the Batman book I was talking about, and it's number 4 out of 6, Killing Time.
All right, so in this issue, Yeah, I told you guys last month, in the last issue, we had the first full appearance of a character by the name of The Help. And I told you guys, if you're speculators, you might want to pick up that issue because
The Help is a bad mamma jamma.
yeah, and he's a really solid villain, a pretty significant threat for Batman, and I'd recommend getting his first appearance because hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of him, like we do here, for example. All right, so Catwoman and Riddler are on the run trying to score their business deal. And other people think they're looking to outsmart Catwoman and Riddler, and they're not faring so well. Meanwhile, Batman is on their tail, and in one opening scene, he is in a bit of a scuffle with a couple of cats. And
we're not talking kitty cats. They've already seen the cover of the book. They know it's tigers.
So he enters into what might be an uneasy alliance with the Help because they both have mutual goals at the moment.
Well, they both agree that once those goals are met, it's game on again.
So there's that, and also pretty great artwork in here. The only thing that really brings this comic down is they bounce around at different times, and it says something like 30 minutes earlier elsewhere this happens. Well, somewhere at some points during the story, it flashes back like 2,500 years to ancient Rome and says, like this is going on, like they're doing a play here, and I'm like, why the hell are we reading this? What does this have to do with anything? So that's really slowing down the comic, but otherwise, solid stuff here. So Batman Killing Time number 4 ends up with.
After we rounded it up, it got 4 shields.
4 shields out of 5. All right, next up.
All right, this is where you could tell that I won our contest instead of EMoney, because if EMoney had won, this next book would have been number 1 instead of number 2. Guarantee. But at any rate, from Dynamite, the only book we get from Dynamite, Nick's number 7.
All right, so in this issue, in previous issues, Nyx is looking to kill her father, the Lord Demon Chaos, whatever you want to call him. But she can't kill him directly, because if she kills him, then she will automatically become the new Lord of Chaos, and she doesn't want that. So they're looking to outsmart each other, and they enter into a deal at some point where Nyx will help raise his future half-human offspring. Well, Nyx thought that she had, some time before that happens, but, Lord Chaos, they're
already here.
Yeah, already here, and, already ready for her parenting, I guess. So Nyx, not one to be outsmarted, finds a way to delegate her duties as a
which I thought was fascinating.
As a nanny, I guess you would call her. But she's still working on outsmarting and hopefully indirectly killing her father somehow. So Nyx number 7, and the artwork is really great in this issue, like always. I've never been a big fan of Nyx's outfit, though. I thought she could do better with the outfit. But Nyx number 7 ends up with our number 2 spot with 4 shields out of 5. And then finally, our number 1 for this week.
All right, from DC Comics, one of those big limited event stories. Follows up the death of the Justice League. This is Dark Crisis, number 1 out of 7. And I opted for the wraparound cover.
All right. Okay, so in Dark Crisis, in the comic that was leading up to this, the main members of the Justice League, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and a few others, have apparently been killed. And the remaining heroes hold a ceremony for them, and then they decide that other heroes are going to have to step up. And it starts with John Kent, Superman Clark Kent's son, and he is he's been Superman for a while. It's like there's been 2 Supermen out there,
right.
And now he decides that the next generation needs to step up. So he decides he's going to form a new Justice League. So he presents, he goes to recruiting a couple of people, and some people turn him down, other people join up. So Black Adam, who was the only survivor of the attack on the original Justice League, he looks at the new team and he kind of scoffs at them. And, he says, what does he say here? One, these two are, unstable and will stab you in the back. And he's referring to Frost and Harley Quinn, both of which...
Amen. I agree.
Both of which Superman recruited. Which, I'd like to have a little more faith in Harley than most people. But, we'll see. And then he says, the Fish is a maybe, referring to Aqualad.
Okay, I can see that.
Which, if I'm Aqualad, I think, a maybe from Black Adam is a ringing endorsement. Like, really? Yeah. He said maybe?
I've never really been real strong on the Fish guys anyway, so.
And then he says, do you really need 2 Blue Beetles? And you know what? I would argue that, the 2 Blue Beetles have 2 completely different skill sets. So, it doesn't hurt to have both of them. One's
Batman.
Yeah, one's a martial arts detective fighter guy, and the other one has an alien suit. He's practically like nanotech Iron Man, pretty much. So, yeah, I'll take both Blue Beetles. And then, also in this issue, it seems that with the main members of the Justice League gone, the villains think it's open season on other heroes. Now that the big hitters are gone, that, they're not around to, bail them out when they get overwhelmed. So they think they can step up and take everything.
And they could be right. It could be rough.
Well, I guess we're going to see in the next issue here. All right, so, great stuff so far. And, this is only part 1 out of 7. So Dark Crisis number 1, our number 1 pick for this week, coming in at 4 shields out of 5. All right, so these are what came out last week. Get them at your local comic book shop if you haven't already. So what's come out today?
Well, as you know, we usually average somewhere between 12 and 15 comics a week. This week, 4.
4. Oh, okay. So
not much that we get coming out this week.
Light week, all right.
Grim number 2 comes out, the book about the Reaper.
Okay. Some people were saying that could be the next Something is Killing the Children.
Right.
So
you might want to catch on to that one while you can.
Yeah.
And also Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. This is the Steve Rogers Captain America.
All right.
Number 1 comes out.
And that's it. All right. So, obviously there's, a lot more selection, just what we get. It's only 4 this week. Really light week for us.
Well, I was there when Comic Book World unpacked their boxes. It was a light week for them, too.
Okay. So maybe you can find some more selections when you go to your local comic book shop this week. And, if you have a recommendation, let us know. All right. So that is it for comic book reviews this week. Now, let's give you guys a preview of what you can expect at this week's pop-up comic shop. All right, so if you've never been to our pop-up comic shop, you need to come out this weekend.
Okay, just like I said in the segment a minute ago, if you haven't, shame on you.
Yeah. We're going to have all kinds of comic books, toys, action figures, DVDs, and Blu-rays for you guys to choose from. We have action figures from Toy Biz, Marvel, DC, all kinds of cool stuff. And then we have comic books starting at $1 and going up from there. We're going to have all kinds of great keys. If you want to see a selection of some of our big keys, we have ads on Craigslist and Marketplace, or at least we're going to. If you watch this as soon as it drops on Wednesday, I usually post on Wednesday night. So wait a little bit if you watch this first thing.
Well, you know what's more important than them coming to the pop-up shop and getting some really cool stuff?
What's that?
They get to spend time with EMoney and the old man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that too. So, come, check everything we have available. And I'm going to give you guys just a little taste of what you can expect at this Saturday's pop-up shop. It's 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, June the 18th, this coming Saturday. And, we're in a bit of a heat wave right now.
Oh, it's terrible.
But Saturday is the coolest day in the forecast right now.
It's not a cool day.
Yeah.
But it is the less evil of the days that we see in the forecast.
And you come early in the morning and it'll be, a little bit cooler. And, we're going to have the fan going in the garage, so
Trust me, the fan doesn't help that much, but it's something.
You'll be in the shade with the fan on. So, best you can hope for without air conditioning. All right, so here's some of the stuff we have available. First, I have a gold key from the Silver Age. This is Total War Number 1. And it has a Wally Wood art in it.
Now, Wally Wood, who I'm going to guess a lot of reviewers have no idea who he is, but he was an excellent artist back in the Silver Age. Now, he started this book out, Total War. It only ran 6 issues. Issues 1 and 2 were called Total War. Then they changed the name to Mars Patrol, Total War for the last 4 issues. And Mars stands for Marine Attack Rescue Service. But I thought it was a really good futuristic science story, and I've always liked Wally Wood.
Okay, so if you're a Silver Age gold key person, then check that out. Next up, we have, if you saw the Loki TV series on Disney Plus a while back, you might be interested in this. It is Thor Number 617, and it is the first appearance of Kid Loki. So it all starts right here for him. And then, finally, we have, I don't say we have a lot of Spawn issues for you to choose from at the sale.
Spawn's run for over 300 issues.
Yeah.
We might have like a dozen.
Yeah, we don't have a lot, but we have a few cool key issues. We have Spawn Number 1 for you guys. And also, we have this one, Spawn Number 77, which is the first appearance of Archangel Spawn right there. So, all these going to be available, plus a hell of a lot more. So there's our comic books for this week's preview. Now on to some of the toys you can choose from this weekend. So first up, we have speaking of Spawn, we have the OG, the original, the man himself, Spawn. Action figure from Series 1, Todd McFarlane. Right there. I remember I had one of these as a kid.
You didn't know who Spawn was.
I didn't know who Spawn was, never read a comic book, but damn if I didn't have the action figure.
You
and
did.
Most of the ones from Series 1 I had, looking at the back here, it's like, okay, had that. The only one I didn't have was Trimmer. So, I had almost the full run there. Then, and, Spawn, of course, I guess, of course, needs a ride. So, don't want to leave him without any wheels. So we have the Spawn-mobile right there. And did this ever appear in the comic books?
Well, keep in mind, I haven't read that many issues of Spawn, but I've never seen it.
Okay, so if you know, let us know in the comments. But it could have just been a shameless cash grab by Todd McFarlane. So. So, Spawn-mobile available. It's in the box, obviously, but the box is pretty beat up. Just,
The box is rough, but I did look
fair
inside,
warning.
and it appears that the toy's never been taken out of the box, never been played with.
All right. So, we're going to have that. And, we have a lot of the, later version of Spawn action figures available, and including this one. We have a couple from Spawn the Dark Ages line, and this is... Oh, okay, I just noticed this. This says, for ages 5 and older. It's like, wow, okay, really? But anyways, this is the Viper King from Spawn the Dark Ages. And this one I thought was really cool because, he's, half Cobra, half man, and he's got all these bendable snake heads here, and, he's, got all these chains hanging off of him. Makes for a really cool display. So, ages 5 and up, apparently. All right, so that is our Spawn, a preview of our Spawn line. Like I said, we have a lot of other great Spawn action figures available this weekend. Now, let's move on to some other stuff here. These are also from Todd McFarlane, just not Spawn. So McFarlane has a pretty cool run of action figures from different movie icons, mainly horror movie icons, and we're going to have a few of those available. We're going to have Chucky. We're going to have
Psycho.
We're going to have Psycho, Norman Bates, and we're going to have Candyman from Candyman 3, and a few other things.
A couple of different
Species from Species 2, and John Carpenter's The Thing. We're going to have all those figures.
That Thing figure is gross.
Yeah. And we just got this past week a couple of movie icons that are not horror related. These are more action movie related, and also from Todd McFarlane. First, we have Snake Plissken from Escape from L.A. So,
well, they didn't do Escape from New York. Well, I mean, as far as I know, they may have done a figure from Escape from New York.
Yeah, this one.
But this was from L.A.
Yeah.
Looks the same to me.
Mm-hmm. So, Kurt Russell is one of those, ageless guys, right?
Nice Santa Claus.
All right, so Snake Plissken, Escape from L.A. And then we have, I wish I could cue up the theme song right now.
They're not.
Like, who is the man who would stick his neck out
Risk
for
his neck for his brother, man.
I thought he was supposed to stick his neck out.
Risk his neck for his brother.
Who would risk his neck for his brother, man? Okay.
We can dig it.
Shaft, right there. And this is the Samuel L. Jackson version. This is from the first Samuel L. Jackson Shaft. Anybody see the second movie he did a couple years ago? I thought it was a really, really cool movie because
it had Richard Roundtree back.
Yeah, you had 3 generations of Shaft in that movie. So, pretty cool stuff. So this one, Samuel L. Jackson. And then, I include this in our horror movie icons line, even though it's not Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane is mostly like 80s horror icons.
80s and up.
Yeah. This one goes a little further back.
A lot further back.
Yeah. This is one of the OG Universal monsters. This is the creature from the Black Lagoon. And it has a really cool display that has, has his logo. It says the creature from 1954 that you can put up if you open it up here. And it's part of the Universal line that includes Phantom of the Opera, the Frankenstein monster, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and the Bride of... No, it's...
Frankenstein.
Is it Bride of Frankenstein? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Bride of Frankenstein there.
Which so happens to be the same exact monsters, Universal monsters, that they made kits for Aurora models.
Yeah, okay. So...
I had most of them.
This is kind of our oddball horror movie icon that we have that goes with all the other ones. All right, so check those out. Like I said, it's going to be this Saturday, June the 18th, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll keep you in the garage, keep you cool as possible. All right.
If you're hanging with EMoney and the old man, you're definitely cool.
Okay. All right, so that is it for this week's pop-up shop preview. Now, speaking of the garage, let's head back up there with Thor.
Man, do we have to? It's hot out there.
Yeah. All right, comic lovers, back out here in the garage with Thor, and today we're keeping it pretty simple. We're just going to see how Thor reacts to a certain show of affection here. Huh? Yeah? Okay. This is our doggy challenge video of the week. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You immediately go to... Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Here. Come here. Come here. Let me love you.
Nothing.
Completely indifferent.
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, you got the water. You care more about the water than your Uncle Eric?
He's thirsty. In fact, probably need to get him some more water.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Thor.
Come here, buddy.
Hey. Thor.
Nothing.
He don't love you.
Sometimes I feel like the love is superficial. All right, so that was our doggy challenge video of the week, and
That was a fail.
and our non-reaction. Buddy, now I know. Now I know. Yeah, I see how it is. It's all just business with us, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for today's episode. Don't forget to come by our garage for the pop-up comic shop this Saturday. We're going to have all kinds of toys, action figures, comic books, of course, a lot of great key comics, and DVDs and Blu-rays. Stop by, all right? And also be sure to check out our reaction videos. Should be later today. If you hadn't noticed, we were a little behind
If
this
he
past
doesn't get
week.
distracted and go sing karaoke or some foolishness.
Or I don't get a job, you know. If more of you guys subscribed, I wouldn't have to work a job. But you don't. So, all right, we'll see you guys on the next one. Excelsior.
All right, true believers, tell me and be honest. What the hell happened to spring?